Some decisions seem unreasonable the moment they are announced. For many people in the royal court, the decision Wu Ding was about to make was exactly that, because the news from the borders was troubling. The northern tribes were becoming more active, communities in the west were launching raids, and the Shang Dynasty was preparing for new military campaigns. In such a time, the most natural thing for a ruler to do would have been to appoint experienced commanders. But Wu Ding thought differently, and he took a step that would change the course of history. He gave the command to Fu Hao. As soon as the decision was announced, shock spread through the court. A woman, commanding an army, leading soldiers into battle. For the world of that time, the idea was almost unthinkable, because war was considered a man's domain. Commanders spent years rising through the ranks. They earned experience through battle, and now a woman was being placed above them. Many believed it was a mistake. But sometimes in history, people fail to see the future, because those who change the future rarely follow existing rules. The first mission given to Fu Hao was more than a test. It would determine her destiny. One of the hostile tribes living near the frontier was putting pressure on Shang territory. Trade routes were threatened, villages were anxious, and the king wanted the problem solved. Fu Hao was chosen for the task. Most likely everyone expected her to fail, but one of history's greatest surprises was about to unfold. Fu Hao gathered her army. Bronze weapons gleamed in the sunlight. War chariots were prepared. Soldiers waited for orders. And for the first time, they were taking commands from a woman. Some were skeptical, some remained silent. But Fu Hao showed no hesitation. Because true leaders do not wait for others to believe in them. They believe in themselves first. The Shang army was one of the most powerful military forces of its age. Bronze axes, spears, bows, and most importantly, war chariots. These chariots were the tanks of the ancient world, fast, terrifying, capable of changing the outcome of battle, but even the finest weapon is useless without a capable commander. That is why Fu Hao's first challenge was not really about the soldiers. It was about proving herself. When the battle began, Fu Hao did something unexpected. She was not merely a commander giving orders. She entered the battle herself. She moved alongside her soldiers, and the result was astonishing. The Shang army won. The mission was a success. The enemy was driven back, and Fu Hao earned her first great victory. When news of the victory reached the palace, many could hardly believe it, because this was no longer a coincidence. A woman had truly commanded an army and succeeded. For Wu Ding, it was confirmation. His instincts had been right. But for Fu Hao, it was only the beginning. After her first success, new assignments followed, then more, and then even more. Fu Hao was no longer an ordinary commander. She was becoming one of the most trusted military leaders of the Shang Dynasty. The campaigns she led began to multiply, and with every victory, her reputation grew. Over time, the soldiers' attitude changed. Those who had once looked at her with doubt now trusted her. Because on the battlefield, people do not care about titles, they care about results. And the results were clear. Fu Hao was winning. That is why the soldiers no longer questioned her orders, they followed them. Now a new name was being spoken across Shang territory. Fu Hao, not only in the palace, but on the frontier as well. Not only among soldiers, but among enemy tribes too. Because people remember successful leaders, but leaders who break expectations become legends, and Fu Hao was slowly becoming a legend. Yet even greater challenges lay ahead. Stronger enemies, larger armies, more dangerous battles, and very soon, Fu Hao would lead some of the most impressive military campaigns in history. Her name was already being heard, but it was not yet feared. That was about to change.